Okay, can you guys hear me now? Hello? Oh, you can't hear me? Why can't I hear myself? I think it's just... Oh, okay. Okay, I can hear myself now. Oh, I need to switch to live. Hey, Cell. Beautiful. Alright. Now, does the audio work? There's just so much lag. I wish I knew right now. Okay, we've got 4 views so far. Oh, good. Music is playing. Beautiful. Alright. Oh no, I can still hear myself. There we go. Okay, okay. So it has been a while, guys. A while. Man, it's almost a little strange. Oh, shoot. Hold up. Before I do anything, I just realized I still need to add... Oh, I forget their name already. Let me check. Lightfoot. They're monochromatic pots to this situation. Gone for just a few weeks, and you forget everything. Alright, downloads. Gonna be under textures. You know what? I can just drag and drop this whole thing, I imagine. Just 1 second, guys. Bang. Did you just... Okay, now I have to... Wait, are these not all of them? Okay, now I am confuzzled. 1 second. Hold. Huh. That doesn't look like all of them. Did... Okay. I asked Lightfoot if I could get all of the files in one download, because I think they piecemealed it. Like, oh, I uploaded several, and then here's the rest. And that is very inconvenient. It's appreciated, but inconvenient. Alright, meanwhile, let's actually see which one's loaded up. Oh, still have the chromatic ones. At least for some of them. Still looks good, I just prefer the monochromatic. I don't like the super fancy stuff. Or at least I like the regular stuff better. Alright, alright. Let's see. What were we up to? We were just finishing this area, and I have to say, it is quite beautiful. Granted, I'm a little biased. I feel like most of this is done. Or at least done enough. I still want to put something here. Let's do lime green wool for anywhere, kind of like a green screen, for anywhere I feel like needs something. Again, not a lot. I feel like that just needs like a splash of something, like even just a rock. So you're not going to really see it much. It just needs to be not a fully empty space. Let's see, over here, I believe this is basically done. It could use a little bit more detailed, perhaps. But it's also not really needed. Still not super happy with this fireplace area, but it is fine. However, this whole area is beautiful. I don't know if I could really improve upon it without dramatically redoing some stuff. Now, I would like to like add something along the top here, but I'm not sure what that could be. Maybe moss? I don't want to overdo it though. What could you add? I guess it's kind of better if I don't add anything. So I want it to look more natural than anything. We'll circle back to that. I'm a little undecided. This is beautiful just the way it is. No notes. Mostly no notes. I feel like the entry could be a little bit better, but I'm not even sure how I would do that. Besides, like, adding a full awning or something. I'm not even sure. That's cute. Cute adjacent. I think get rid of that. Okay, that helps. Wrong color, but that helps. What is that, jungle? Thank you, John. I also don't recognize your name. Have you been here before? Because if not, welcome. And if you have, then welcome back. But I always like to keep track of new arrivals. And this looks good. I feel like it would look a little bit better. It's like a little further out, but that's too much. So I'm not really sure what to do in that regard. Also, the animation of the flag's a little weird. I don't know what's going on with that. They're like stuttering. Is it like a me thing or texture thing? All right, let's see. Over here, it's kind of hard because on one hand you need some stone. I think we have a lot, at least enough. But I would like to add more color over here one way or another. Some more features, kind of fill up this area. Just do something over here. And I don't think I want to keep this sunstone. I don't want them to be everywhere, you know? Well, good. I am glad you were finally able to stop by. Oh, I hate the word finally. I've been trying to use that word less because it just has negative connotations. I'm glad you were able to stop by. Have you... I'm not sure if you've been watching the recording of the live streams. Have you seen this build at all? Because I will talk about this for hours. That will be the entire live stream, I swear. I've done it before, and I'll do it again. That is a threat and a promise. That is the Tycoon guarantee. Alright, let's see. What's going on? I think this area is really good. I wouldn't mind putting something right there. Even if it literally leads to nothing, like just like a little overlook or more piping or something. I think that could be really cool, potentially. But otherwise, this area is pretty filled out. I like it. I don't think the rest of this would really benefit from anything. Obviously, I still need to work over here. I'm not quite sure how I want to do this area. I could try to throw myself at it, see what happens. Oh my god, I forgot my tea. One second. Okay, I've returned with one of my favorite mugs, my turnip mug. I can't see my own recording. There we go, turnip mug. So yeah, John, this is my Adventurers Guild. I essentially just explored a seed randomly, and I found this village. The village isn't anything special, it's nothing really to look at. But then I found this massive cave system. It was really cute because they already had like a little villager house down here all by itself. I figured this would be like the perfect spot for like an anime adventuring guild, almost like Fairy Tail, you know what I mean? But instead of making it all like one cohesive guild, it's kind of like a coalition or a union of guilds. So you have like the Hospitality Guild, the Fisher/Trader, like Mercantile Guild, you know, they do water stuff. The Miners Guild, which leads back there. You have the Botany/Farmers Guild. You have the Alchemist Guild, which is going to spread over here as well. Originally, I planned on that alone being the whole thing, but I was like, nah, it needs to be a whole big area. And then, of course, you're going to have the Watchman Guild. Oh, that's a much better name. You're going to have the... Can I zoom? Ah, there we go. It is... See. You have the Wizard's Tower, which is a work in progress. And then, of course, the Dwarven Emissary/Smithing Guild. That's probably one of my favorite parts so far. Oh, I've been doing this. This has been my entire live stream series. So, since I've started doing live streaming, when was my first live stream? Originally, the plan was that I would... oh god. I can't log into Twitch right now. Or at least too much effort to. Originally... Because whenever I build stuff in my Let's Play series, I build it off camera first, so I kind of know what I'm doing and I'm not just faffing about. So I decided to start doing that in my live stream, so you guys get content, something for me to do, and you actually get to see my creative process. And then it just turned into a whole big thing, and I absolutely look forward to doing this every week. I'm going to eventually start doing a Let's Play series where I slowly recreate this entire thing. So, effectively, this has taken almost a year. About 3 hours a week, almost every week. So, roughly a little under 15 minutes a day every day, if you spread it out. But I love doing this, and I especially love all of the feedback and interactions with all of my viewers and friends, such as yourselves. But yeah, this world is up for download, by the way. It's on the Discord. I think it might also be on my About page. I don't update my About page very much. But definitely on the Discord under important links, as well as the texture pack, in case you were interested. But yeah, I love this. I think live streaming has also helped me really push past my creative block. Because sometimes I'll build stuff and I just am so in my own head that I can't get past like a little imperfection or something. And so far this has helped so much. But I feel like this is a good point to at least start talking about my past 2-3 weeks, technically 16 days, give or take. So John, you may not know, but Danger, Cell, oh, and hello Rigo, you must be the fourth. Perfect timing. So as I mentioned, oh, Larry, hey Larry. Larry, I need those, I need a full zip of the monochromatic pots, please, if you're the same Lightfoot in the Discord. Anyway, welcome both of you, nice to see you. I have some exciting news. What was it? I went to Japan, first time ever out of the country, first time in Japan, amazing. There's a lot I'm going to talk about, and in fact, it's going to probably be my topic of choice for the next like month, because so much happened, and I only have 3 hours a week to talk about it. However, one of the most exciting things that happened while I was in Japan is my partner and I stayed at a traditional ryokan? I forget how to pronounce it specifically, but it's like a traditional Japanese like inn, where it has like the bamboo floors, it has the futon mattresses that are on the floor, it has the little table that like you have to sit on the floor to sit at. Wonderful experience. They fed us dinner and breakfast the next morning. We even got to like sit in a traditional like Japanese bathtub, like the wooden boxes basically. Wonderful experience. Very expensive, but very wonderful. Anyway, we decided that was the perfect spot to propose to each other. Not sure if you guys can see it. Yeah, I got bling now. I'm engaged. I'm sure some of you saw that on the Discord, but in case you're not in the Discord, that's the big news I want to share. My partner and I knew we were going to be proposing to each other, but I kind of wanted to make it a surprise for everyone. It was actually really exciting how it happened, because my partner and I talked about marriage a while ago. Yeah. And it was never really brought up again. I just more proposed my interest. They proposed theirs, but we weren't quite ready for it yet. And then when they were like, hey, Japan would be a perfect spot for that, I'm like, oh, yes. Thank you, both Symphony and John. I'll thank all of you. I'm sure you're about to thank me or congratulate me. Yeah, I'm super excited. Didn't think this was ever going to happen in my lifetime at this point. Neither did my partner, but I'm glad we proved each other wrong. So yeah, getting married. Sorry for some of you. I know a lot of you have a crush on me. Haha, JK. Anyway, jokes aside, let's see. It was really funny that night too, because a lot of the nights that we weren't absolutely exhausted, we would check in with each other like, oh, hey, what was your favorite part of the day? And we'd be like, oh, visiting the shrine or doing whatever. And when it got to my turn, I was like, oh, my favorite part was probably getting engaged. And my partner was just like, oh, you know what I meant. Stace wasn't like angry, but they were just like, oh, don't you dare do that to me. I was like, yeah, I know, I'm just trolling. I know that was your top thing too. Wedding live stream. Might actually do that just for you guys. At the very least, give you a recording. But we had a lot of fun in Japan in general. We did so much stuff. We went to like almost every Pokemon Center we were even remotely nearby. We went to the Studio Ghibli Museum. We went to what was it? Tokyo Skytree. It's basically like a large observation tower. And when it sends you up on an elevator so fast your ears pop, it's ridiculous. Hold on, I know this music. This is Stardew. Okay. I was like, where do I know this song from? In fact, if you guys are interested, I can drop a few pictures or just do an entire review of Japan. But I will tell you right now, like, my 4 favorite things about Japan. And I always forget the 4th one, so give me a minute. So the first one is the public transit. It is crazy how good it is. Like, this is, again, coming from an American, I'm not sure. Some of you are probably from other countries, and they're like, yeah, of course trains run on time. What is your point? But so there's transportation. Oh, beautiful. There's transportation everywhere. So, like, one of my biggest issues is, like, I'll be like, man, I want to go to my favorite ice cream spots, but it's like a 30-minute drive one way, and then I got to drive 30 minutes all the way back, and it's just, like, it's not worth the time, the effort, the gas. It's just not worth it. So unless something's, like, within 30 minutes of me, I just don't do it, which is really sad, right? So, what was it? Oops. Trying to do this pot thing at the same time talking. What was it? Replace all files. Perfect. So the public transit system there, again, there were like trains everywhere. And for the few places there weren't trains, there were buses. Buses, at least in Arizona, well, Phoenix, I should say specifically, Phoenix, Arizona's bus system, you have to know the system. It's not something you could just do. You have to like study and plan your route. Even with Google Maps, it's a nightmare. Oh no. I still don't have the skulls. Did you do the skulls? Did I just install it wrong? I see the skull one in here. What? Alright, let's do this manually. Textures, entity. Wait, I'm in the right space. Minecraft textures. Oh, I'm in Ether right now. Textures, entity. And where the pot's at. Decorative pot. Here we go. Huh. That's weird. Yeah, they're all loaded. Although this doesn't look like all of them. Did you do the full suite of all of the pots? Wait, did I load the wrong resource pack somehow? I'm pretty sure that's the right one. Huh. Yeah, because I only see the angler pot, the decorated sides, so like regular, plenty, prize, sheaf, shelter, skull, and snort. I thought you did a full set. Okay. So, oops. So it's not fully complete. Okay. I thought I was missing something. For some reason, they're still not loading. I know it's in there. Is the name wrong? It's just skull pottery pattern, right? Huh. Well, we'll figure that out later. So anyway, the public transit system is amazing because, like, we get there, you basically just buy a subway card for all intent and purposes, and Google Maps understands the system there. So, like, even though we were kind of too uninitiated to understand it, like, Google Maps was like, yeah, get on this line at this time, and they were always on time. Maybe they would be like 5 minutes late, but like, you could always time your watch by it. And the same with the stops. Like, if you were worried about missing your stop, like if you went to take a nap or just zone out, you could literally just set a timer, maybe like 3 minutes ahead of time, and alarm would go off. You'd look up and you're like, oh, my stop's next. Perfect. That's how insanely well-timed that system is. Not only that, it's cheap. Like, a 30-minute train ride was only like $2. It's ridiculous. What else? They also have vending machines practically everywhere at every station. So if you ever get hungry or thirsty... Actually, I don't think there was a lot of food. I don't think there was any food vending machines, just drinks. Which makes sense. Because there was also just like a lot of like shops that mostly did food. Yeah, no rush, no worries, Larry. Just making sure I didn't miss them, because I've been eager to use them. They look beautiful, by the way. Great job. But yeah, the public train system, public transit in general, is wonderful. The only downside is during peak hours, it's cramped and kind of stressful, but at the same time, even the worst train ride was way better than the best rush hour traffic I've ever had to deal with. And again, you could just zone out, play on your phone, and not have to deal with it. It was great. It does kind of suck to stand when there's no seats available, but again, better than dealing with traffic by 100-fold. It's ridiculous. Again, like even the most stressful experience I had there was better than any mildly stressful experience I've ever had with traffic in America. It's crazy. And then, of course, the other thing is the economy there. I'm not sure if the economy is just better or the US dollar is worth that much more than the yen. Of course, conversion rate is like $1 to 150 yen. Now, that doesn't necessarily adjust for the cost of living necessarily. So it could be a little bit different, but like a bottle of water from a vending machine was like 70 cents. Like we grabbed like an armful of snacks and food from a 7-Eleven and it was like $10. Like I'm talking sandwiches, chips, candy, like 4 drinks, all under $10. Ridiculous. What was it? We even, on our way back home, we were at the international airport to fly back to California, and it was it? We stopped at a cafe. I got like a thick slice of quiche, like thick. We got a big cinnamon roll to share with like cream cheese frosting, not the cheap, crappy frosting. My partner got, I want to say like an avocado bagel. We both got a chai tea, and that was $10, maybe $11 at an airport, an international airport. Like, freaking crazy cheap. And then what was it? When we got back to America, in California's international airport, I don't even think we were in the international part because we went back to the local to catch our flight back to Phoenix. And my partner's like, I need a snack and a drink. Please go get me one. I was like, okay. So I got a bottle of water and one of those protein cookies, and it cost me $10 for a cookie and a bottle of water. The cheapest bottle of water I could find, by the way. I guess technically the cheapest bottle of water was $4, and I got a bigger one, which was $5. So it's like, we're gonna just refill it with tap water later. Might as well get a bigger bottle. It was just crazy how reasonably priced everything was there. And it's like, it's crazy because it's like America could do this. Like if those same companies in Japan can make money hand over fist by charging reasonable prices, so can America. They just choose not to. And again, it's just crazy to me. I don't understand. I really don't. What was the other things I really loved? So the pricing, the public transit, the food. The food was amazing. And obviously, like, all of the authentic, like, restaurants and stuff like that, all phenomenal. But I'm talking, like, the baseline of food. The absolute bottom quality you could get was still better than most things you can buy in America. Like, for the most part, like, a lot of people get McDonald's or Taco Bell because it's cheap, but you know you're not going to get a good quality. You're paying cheap, so you're not getting anything good. We ate at 7-Eleven and McDonald's very often, not because we wanted to, but because being out all day, we were tired and we just wanted something quick and easy. But I ate at McDonald's more there than I have in the past like 5 years in America, and it was decent. It wasn't good, but it was acceptable. 7-Eleven literally had the best egg salad I've ever had at a freaking convenience store in a pre-packaged plastic bag on a shelf, basically. And again, that was the best egg salad I've had anywhere in America, and it was at a convenience store. Which brings me to another point, that every single egg I had in Japan was perfectly cooked and delicious. If you got like something over medium or soft boiled, it was always perfectly jammy middle. It was crazy. We went to a Denny's and the food there was good. The syrup was good. The pancakes actually tasted like pancakes. Like, it tasted like real food, not the pseudo food we have in America. And again, it's just baffles me how easy that is to do for them. It's just simple. I guess the reason they do it there is because, like, you know, you put crappy food out for them, they're just not going to eat it. Where here in America, we just kind of been trained to eat shitty food, and kind of expect that, you know what I mean? We've very much been trained by the market, unfortunately. The other thing there, too, is crazy, circling back to I can't even words, the marketing, the economy. So a brand new Switch game in America is about $60, give or take. There are some like non IP Nintendo games, like, you know, third-party Nintendo games. That's the word I'm looking for. That, I guess that would be OPs. Anyway, I think IP works too. Anyway, I'm getting distracted by semantics. So, brand new game, $60. In Japan, brand new game is about $40. Now, there are exceptions. I think, like, the new Persona Arena tournament, whatever. There was a new Persona game that came out, and that was like 7,000 yen. So that was about, I think that was probably about $60. But again, that, like, Persona, I get it. It's one of those like really top tier games. But like the standard was 40. That was just the exception. And then they have a used game aftermarket system, which, first of all, I want to say if it's an older game, it goes on sale super quick. And if it's a used game, there's actually a noticeable discount between new and used, where here in America, like, a used game is like maybe, if it's an older used game, like maybe 10 or 25% off, if you're lucky. Like the games no one wants, like the previous 2 tiers of Madden or whatever. Where in Japan, there were literally selling games that, like, the really unpopular ones, they were selling for, like, literally saw games for as low as $3 or $4. Granted, they were the older ones or the less popular ones, but they were $3 or $4. Like, even like the older generations of the Madden games, which nobody wants the older generations, because why would you? Every year it's the same game, but slightly different. It's effectively the same game. And they were so cheap. I'm not talking Madden specifically. I don't think I saw any sports games there, or at least not a lot. And it was just ridiculously cheap. Like, what was it? I found a 3DS game of Dragon Quest Monsters 3, which was actually never released in America, FYI, as far as I know. For what, like $8? Crazy. In fact, a lot of 3DS games, since Nintendo stopped really caring about the 3DS games were abysmally cheap. It was ridiculous. Safe to say, I bought over 20 Nintendo Switch games. Which, fun fact, by the way, Nintendo Switch, if there is, none of the games are region locked, as far as I can tell. And if you do find a region locked one, you have to hunt for it. Every single game is supported on every single Switch system, again, as far as I know, except for outliers, perhaps, but I haven't found any. And then every single game that has an English translation will automatically switch to English if your console's default language is English. And again, you can even change that in systems. The only exceptions are games that don't have multi-language support, which I did find one, unfortunately. It was one of the ones I was really looking forward to. I'm not sure if any of you are old enough to remember or enjoy Metabots, but apparently they made a collection system, kind of like the Mega Man games, where it's like all of the original 6... Excuse me. Plus a few extra. The Switch one had more than the 3DS one, and I was so excited for that. Like, I wanted it just for collector's sake. And that one does not have English support, unfortunately. Now, of course, the games are still incredibly playable, and with Google Lens, you can essentially just hold up your phone and read all the text if you're willing to deal with that, but freaking amazing, honestly. Madden full price DRC where the colors change. Also, hey Vish, I honestly didn't know you catch my live streams. It's an honor to have you here. But yeah, the crazy thing with the game situation, ridiculous. I think 3DS games, however, are region locked. Which I found that out after buying a few games. I have not tested it out myself yet, but I actually found I couldn't find. So for the Metabots game, not that this matters, just something I want to talk about. They have two versions. They're both beetles. You have the guy with the sword and the guy with the guns. The robots. The what was it? Metabee, I think was his name. The yellow orange one with the blasters on his arms. And you have like the one with like the horns and the blade. I couldn't find the Metabee version. Only the I cannot remember his name. But even then, I found that game for like $20. Freaking crazy. It was like the only copy I found too. I did find the collector's anniversary edition of the 3DS version, so it had both games for the 3DS. Now the 3DS version has less games than the Switch version, and it's on the 3DS, so it's like meh, whatever. But the cool thing is, I was actually looking. There's a website where you can import games from pretty much all over the world. And just one of those games is like $100 to import, the 3DS ones. And I got both of them in the collector's edition for like, again, I think $30. I think it, yeah, I want to say it was 30. I was so excited about that. Again, just even as a collector's piece, not even to resell. Yeah, that makes sense. I've been thinking about changing my stream time so more people can catch it. Because 12 to 3 isn't really the best time for me. It just allows me to sleep in. I've actually been wanting to do this earlier in the day. I don't think I want to do later though. But yeah, we'll see what people think. But yeah, I'm glad you were able to show up, Vish. But yeah, the used game market there is crazy. Most stores, like, they basically have a Best Buy there. And even the Best Buy has used games there. Not a huge selection. It's usually just, like, rarer things or, like, more valuable things, not, like, everything. No, actually, they have a mix of everything. Now, granted, you're not going to find, like, Super Nintendo games there. It's all going to be, like, that generation of games used. But the fact that almost every like retail store has a used game section, baffling. And again, they're all reasonably priced. In fact, I found this one used game store. It was really nice. They had a huge selection. But then I realized why they had such a huge selection. They had pretty much every Pokemon game, in Japanese of course, in a box. And I realized the reason why they have all of this is because all of their prices are absurd. You don't really move product when they're at absurd prices. But then again, plenty of other used game stores that had a great selection and weren't ridiculously overpriced. There's also just huge sections of I can't remember the name of it. There's like this huge nerd section in town, like in Tokyo. I cannot remember the name, but it has like all the figurines, trading cards, you name it. It's like nerd central. Of course, I found another spot in Osaka that did it better, in my opinion. But yeah, so one of my friends, he's a massive weeb. We went into one of those stores, and he looked up and he saw a figure. It's a huge figure, by the way. And he's just like, I spent $600 on that figure at a convention. How much is that in USD? And I looked at it and I was like, that's like $150, bro. And he's just like, oh no. And it's crazy because literally, if you are a huge fan of video games, figurines, any of that expensive nerd stuff, it is honestly cheaper to save up your money, buy a round trip ticket to Japan, buy everything you could possibly want and either just check a lot of luggage. A lot of places will allow you to check 2 bags, at least for international things. Or you could just pay extra for a check bag. It really depends on how much you want to deal with that. Otherwise, you can just ship it back to your home. But otherwise, you load up on all that stuff, send it back. And if you're really smart about it, you'll buy extra and try to resell it, and it will subsidize your whole trip and all of your spending. We didn't do that, obviously, but like, it's crazy. The prices there are insane. My videos are classic. Thank you, Ryu. I hope you like my new stuff. I'm very proud of my old stuff, but I feel like I've definitely have come far in terms of my build quality. Like, I don't think I'm a master builder by any means, but I do feel like this build right here is a piece of art. Like, I would put it out there that this is a beautiful build. Now, obviously, I've seen bigger and more beautiful things, but this just my favorite part about my particular building style is everything it doesn't feel mass-produced, and that's one of the things I hate. I wouldn't say hate, that I disagree with some other builders. They'll build like this massive build, but then it feels empty. Especially like big cities. There's not a lot of personal touches, where here I try to make everything feel like a witch's house, you know what I mean? Like, where there's just like clutter everywhere, but in a classy, tasteful way. And that's kind of what I want. I want like cluttered and cozy. But anyway, I got economics from Tycoon 101. Came back to in a box. Oh yeah, the massive figurines. Yeah, you know, actually, Cell, that's a great idea. I think that would be a really cool video to do, is like a comparison, like before and after. Which reminds me, I really should start working on revamping my old base again. So, you know, right now, I'm actually not feeling anything right here anyway, especially because I'm getting a little distracted talking about Japan. So let's bring it back to the old LP world. Give you guys some nostalgia. Ooh, that's a beautiful, beautiful sun right there. It's kind of in my face though. Oops. I forgot this was never in creative. There we go. Hold on, there's a way to do this. What was it? Huh. Let me reset this, hold on. I know there's a way to basically change your game mode by hosting it via LAN. Yeah, yeah, organized, lived in clutter. That is perfect description of what I like. Ah, allow cheats. That's why it didn't work. There we go. Time set day? Maybe it is day already. Noon? Ah, there we go. God, that's really beautiful. And thank you. Yes. Again, that's... I knew the command. I just forgot to turn on cheats. Just silly goose. Huh. Either way, so what was it? This is the revamp that I've been doing. As you can tell, because this staircase wasn't in the original series. A lot of this wasn't in the original series, including this completed lake, which I absolutely love. Like, oh, every time I've wanted a water feature, it's been this. Like, not only is it beautiful on the surface, but you check underwater, and it feels... This gives me the same sense of, like... I know this is a weird throwback, but, like... when I played Ocarina of Time, and there's that fishing area, and then like you put on the iron boots, you can go underwater and see all the cool stuff. This is kind of what it feels like, because you have like all the rocks and the leaves, seagrass and stuff. It's beautiful. I'm very proud of that. It's kind of like my first real attempt at mass terraforming. So let's see. I really do want to finish this build. I just noticed this is weird right here. Let's fix that. I kind of got, what's the word? Distracted from this build at one point, because even though I was working on it, at a certain point it's like I can only do so much with the constraints of this place and what I already have built. So it felt a little limiting. I'm also not sure if I want to build something else here or keep the crypt there. I think I might just redo the crypt entirely. So I still have it's still a throwback to the original, but better. That's kind of what I'm trying to do. I'm not trying to reinvent this place necessarily. Well, I don't really know what to call it. Redesign it. I'm trying to redesign it. Not. You know what? I can't find the right words for it. Anyway. By the way, I'm not sure if you guys saw this, but I did this last time I was here. I'm really happy with the little bobbing armor stand in the water. Oh, I love it. The only thing is, I wish I could have made it where the armor starts to sink immediately after it hits the top. But with the limitations of redstone, it would have made the whole thing way more complicated. And that looks fine as it is. Remember, guys, perfection is the enemy of progression, which is one of my big issues in my Let's Play series in general. I would always get hooked up on making things perfect. Oops. Solid bricks, please. Thank you. I guess that's fine. Excuse me. Guess what I... Oh, nope. That's why I did that. Shoot. That's the problem with sharing a roof. It's gonna look weird no matter what you do. Ah, well. Oh, well. Aquarium. Renovate. Renovate. Yes. That's the word I'm looking for. And hello, Breeze. Man, all of you guys are here. Well, since more of you are here now, I want to share all of the news. If you are in my Discord... I just realized my head's kind of far down because I'm leaning forward. It's a weird time to get distracted. I think it's going to be like that just because I lean forward so much regardless. Okay, so all of you, the great news I want to share last stream, but want to keep it a secret until then. If you're on my Discord, you already know, but I'm engaged. I'm engaged. Yeah, beautiful. The cool thing about that, by the way, is our rings, we actually stopped at like this custom shop, and they have kind of like a bunch of like base rings, like they're basically just bands. And you go in there and they have like a little like tray, and you have like different thicknesses and then different designs based on the thicknesses. And then you go up and there's more designs, more like also engraving options. But you essentially pick a material. You pick, so they had like brass, gold, silver. Then you pick like a finish. So they had like matte, they had like polished, so shiny. They had something called like starry, where it was kind of like almost like it, or I think it was like glitter, but basically it was a rough surface, so it kind of felt like not quite like sandpaper, but it felt textured. You know what I mean? I forget what the other one was, but you get any of those designs, and then they literally take the band, they put it on this like cone, metal cone, and they kind of like hammer it out to the size of your finger, which they do measure your finger. Fun fact, by the way, my partner and I both the same ring size, 19. What was it? Getting distracted. And then yeah, they literally design it for you right there on the spot. Each of our rings is only about like 7,500 yen, which is like 30, 40, $50 a ring, which is like nothing for a ring in general, especially one made out of like actual silver. There were obviously way more expensive ones we could have done, but the base price was like $60, give or take. Ring! Engagement phone. And thank you, Rue. And thank you, Vish. Thank all of you. We are definitely very happy. We knew we were gonna propose ahead of time, which is why I knew it was coming, and it was so hard not to tell everyone. Especially because I didn't want to jinx it. Not that I quite believe in that, but like, not necessarily jinxing, but like, you know, if something were to happen, like it got delayed or whatever, for whatever reason, I didn't want to be like, oh, I'm sorry guys, that actually isn't happening. You know, again, I don't think that's the case. I don't think that would have happened, but I also just kind of want it to be a surprise. It's the most thing I want to take away from that. But I'm so happy. I love my partner Stace so much. And I told the story already, but every day we were in Japan, we would always talk about our day and like what we liked the most about that day. Like, oh, you know, going to the aquarium, you know, whatever. And that day we're talking about it, and they're like, oh, I think my favorite thing was like going to the shrine and walking around, getting to experience like, you know, culture. And what was your favorite part? And I was just like, oh, you know, getting engaged, I think was probably my favorite part. And they were like, oh, you know what I meant. They weren't upset, but they were like, don't you dare. It was funny. I was 100% trolling. I didn't feel that way at all. Well, that was my favorite part, but I wasn't like offended, you know what I mean? Crafting store. That's adorable, Bree. I was so excited for you when I heard you were getting engaged. You guys fell in love fast. But it just kind of happens that way, you know, right? Like sometimes love can take a very long time to develop, but sometimes there's just a spark there, and you're like, are we moving too fast? And you're like, no, this is just, we just have a really good vibe. And it's really crazy how that works, because again, like I've had a lot of trouble in my past relationships, a lot of not necessarily doubt, but like unsureness, and I haven't felt that way. So I'm very happy with everything that's happened. Fiance says thank you for showing us the song Disco at the Panic Room. That song makes it where she can never give up on her art. That's awesome. First of all, I love that artist. If you guys have not heard of him, his, I guess, artist name is Bug Hunter. You may have heard one of his songs called Dear McCracken. That's his like big song that like everybody knows. So many people have made like, not necessarily AMVs, but you get the idea. Like they made animated videos based on that song, and it was a big thing on Reddit for a while. And that's how I actually discovered him. However, ironically, I wouldn't say that's my least favorite song, but like it doesn't even hit the top 5 list. And that dude has range, and I love 90% of his music. Like, for me, whenever I find a new song, I fall in love with it, and I try to find all of the songs similar from that artist. Sometimes that's not always the case. Like, I'll find like 2 or 3 songs per artist, not even per album. And for the most part, like, all of his albums are like a 50 ratio plus, which is insane for my musical tastes. He's got good music. And Disco in the Panic Room is probably my absolute favorite. On the Rocks is a very close second. It really depends on what kind of vibe I'm feeling. Like if I need energy, disco. If I'm just chill, on the rocks. Which reminds me, I should share my Spotify list with you guys sometime. I have a list specifically, like, here's a sample of my tastes, which is to say neurodivergent as hell, but I'm sure a lot of you will appreciate it. I should get back to seeing what you guys are saying. Yeah, U-Haul lesbians. That's the thing though. I'll circle back to that real quick because that's going to be a huge topic. Expensive rings sit weird. Yeah, one of my electrician coworkers was saying how his wife wanted him to spend $1,000 on her ring per year he made her wait. So like 10 years. She has a 10 grand ring, and it's like, dude, I wouldn't want to wear that. I wouldn't want to even wear it at home. Like, that would just be a piece sitting in a box somewhere. Like, why would you even want that? It's crazy to me. It's like, unless you just have so much money that you can like wear that and not be worried about it at all. But like, dude, crazy to me. That's a sus name. Kinda, yeah. 2 bed, 2 bath, and a ghost. I've never heard of that. I gotta look it up. Is that by Bug Hunter? It is! Is that a new song? Hold up. Now I gotta look this up. When did that release? Because a year ago. Huh. See, I don't check up on my artists nearly enough. It's kind of like a good webcomic. Like, You check up on them every couple of months, maybe a year, see what new stuff they have, and then you binge it all. So yeah, I'm gonna have to check out Bug Hunter again. Wait. I just realized On the Rocks is not by Bug Hunter. On the Rocks is by Ken Ashcore, which I also recommend. He's kind of a smaller artist, a bit of a weirder one, I'll admit. A lot of it's like pop culture references. There's literally a song about My Little Pony, which I had no idea until I looked up the lyrics on Genius. The song is called 20% Cooler, which is just a small reference in one of the episodes of My Little Pony. And then a lot of the other references become very clear, like getting hoarse on the mic. Yeah. Either way, great musician as well. I'm getting Tangity after Tangity. Walk the Dog. Hey, thank you, Endersoul. Nice to see you. Yeah, I was always super happy with my old bass. This is the revamp, the remodel, if you will, where I've been going through and making it look more beautiful. I'm not sure if you can tell. Because, you know, like, nostalgia's weird that way. Like, in your head, it always looked this beautiful, right? Kind of like old PlayStation games. And then, like, you go back and you're like, oh, wow, it's missing a lot. What song is this? It's got to be a Zelda song. Yep, Zelda, Deku Palace. Pine Cones. Yeah, Pine Cones is a beautiful song. Shoot, what's another one of... Let me look. Pine Cones has a great connotation to it. Great, you guys have gotten... You hit me on all the right topics. I'm just going off on all the tangents. Oh, Be Glad I Love You, Go to Bed. Oh, I love that song. Oh man, 2 Bed, 2 Bath, and a Ghost is already one of his top songs. That's crazy. Oh, like his entire new album is a banger, apparently. God, I gotta go through all of his old music again. But yeah, I love Be Glad I Love You, Go to Bed. The whole intro of that is just, oh god. Oh god. Oh no, what's going on? Please stop. Please stop. Oh no. Stop, please? Okay. Okay, there we go. My keyboard has a macro function, and Corsair? I need to find a way to turn it off, but basically my keyboard has a macro thing with built-in macros already on it, and I need to turn it off because the macro button is right next to the escape key, and I'll hit that so often. I thought I fixed that, but apparently I did not. Interesting. I'll have to check out that music video. Yeah. Yeah, that's... Yeah, I feel seen, Vish. Thank you. That is tangents upon tangents. I feel like that's one of the best things... One of my best qualities, I feel, in a way. Because, like, you know, you get entertained watching me build, and then I just ramble on about stuff for decades. It's definitely an acquired taste, I feel. But yeah, so some of the things I've done with this build for Ender, I redid this entire lake. If you remember, it was just a barren mess for a while. There was no life. It was just empty because, A, there wasn't a lot of things you could do with water at the time. But, like, this was a peninsula that came out. And I actually destroyed it all the way down to the ground level in survival, which was a nightmare. And then, yeah, I finally redesigned it. Actually did some underwater stuff, and this shader makes it look beautiful. And I actually decorated along the water's edge. I used path near the edges of the water to make it kind of look like a little bit of erosion. And then, of course, I did the staircase going up, because that was just like a staircase coming up and going over, and I hated that so much. Made a little picnic area right here with like a little cave going through. Really happy with that. Redid the entire courtyard. Oh, these big trees here and here. Perfect. I decided to put leaves right here on the ground. Kind of wish... Yeah, they definitely need more like leaf blocks, kind of like cherry blossom things. But yeah, also love the submerged waterlogged stairs now. Oh. A ice, B rice, indeed. But yeah, let's see. Fireplace doesn't work anymore for some reason. I need to redo all the redstone, but at least the triggering mechanism. But I redid the kitchen. It's still really hard for me to find a kitchen design that I enjoy, but this is the best one I've done so far. I've not done anything with the pet area yet. I kind of am reluctant to even try. I redid the backyard, although there is still a huge amount that I need to redo. I plan on turning this into like a small like lake. I think in one of my saves I actually successfully did it, but apparently it was on the wrong save. So like not all of them, not all of my progress is on the same save, unfortunately. Oh, welcome back, Bree. Redid the den. So you have like your bar, you have like a game table, beautiful view, which I made the window a diamond because why not? Like a dart area. But of course you can also use bows, crossbows, tridents, whatever you want to use. Jukebox is still kind of the same. Redid a lot in general. I got rid of the alchemy area and enchanting area. I do want to make this the alchemy area entirely. More like kind of like the mini greenhouse, and then have like the alchemist area over here. I just have not worked on that yet. Maybe I could work on it in this episode. I also, this wasn't anything, and I decided to try to make a staircase going up into the bedroom. I got rid of the walk-in closet, which I have mixed feelings about. Because, like, I really like that closet, and I don't feel like the staircase really adds too much. Because alternatively, what I was thinking about doing... Let's just go to the library real quick. So the library... Also, I was like, I'm not going to do anything with this. I'm just going to cap it off and add like a nice little table. I I added an aquarium here instead of the bookshelves. I feel like that adds a little bit more and adds a little bit more variety to everything. I got rid of the half slab floor and I decided to do tiered bookshelves, which I think looks beautiful personally, including tiered hanging lights, which just really adds to the accents. It's just like, let me give you this shot. Like, oh, look at that. That looks like almost something out of Hogwarts almost. I also wanted to add like a little cartography area somewhere. Maybe like punch this out. I kind of already did add a little bit of space here, but I think it would be nice to have like a little cartography area. I'm just not sure how I would do it in a productive way. Heck, maybe over here instead, but little enchanting area. I kind of want to do something more over here as well. Just because like this is the bare minimum. I kind of actually want it to feel magical. So maybe I could turn this whole area into like an enchanting, like magical area, and over there could be like the cartography area. I think that could be a lot of cool, although I am slightly limited by the mountainside face right there. It's not a lot of room. Now, alternatively, what I was also thinking is I could make a doorway right here where the toilet was, and you could just enter into the bedroom through the bathroom area. So it would kind of be a long way to come all the way up to the bedroom. Not that the bedroom has changed too much either. I kind of really want to redesign the bedroom again. Pretty much just swapped everything. But then the bathroom's pretty much still the same. I don't think I changed it too much, although it could definitely use some TLC. Definitely some better wall textures instead of just all stone brick. Yeah, so I'm not sure what I want to do. Alternatively, if I wanted to keep that staircase and the walk-in closet, I could just put the walk-in closet right here. Just kind of like seal this off like so. I wouldn't be able to do too much with this side. Maybe I'd have to move the door right here. And that would be fine. Something like this. That would give me a little bit more room, and I could even incorporate these bookshelves somehow. Kind of like I had bookshelves in the original one anyway. But so basically, just use the other side of the bookshelves too. Something like that. Could work. I don't know how I feel. But regardless, could either just make that a flat wall or something else. But yeah, so either way, I could make this, just filling this up because I feel like it now, make this into a walk-in closet or a staircase up. I kind of do like this staircase. It needs a little work, but I do like how it's more publicly open and you don't have to go through the library to get up there. Not that it's a huge inconvenience, because like in reality it's only a little bit of extra, because that one would go there and then wind up. So you're really only going this much further, going up, and then right there. So it's not crazy, but that also does give me more area to do enchanting stuff. So we'll see. But yeah, now that you guys have mentioned it, I think I do want to start working on this again. We'll see how I feel per week, because I don't want to force myself into a creative box, you know what I mean? Kind of like what I've been doing. I think that's one of the reasons why I've been so successful in the Adventuring Guild is I haven't forced myself to work on anything I wasn't feeling. And there's so much to work on that I could just be like, I'm not feeling the Botany Guild, even though we're kind of like in the middle of it. Let's swap over to the Miners Guild, you know. Good lord, 6 and 7? That is crazy. You've been watching my videos for like, hold on, 12, 13 years? Jeez, that's crazy. I'm glad I was able to be such a big part of your life. Or at least, I'm trying not to brag or seem like it's as big of a deal as it is. Or bigger of a deal than it is. I appreciate that I was a part of your life, your childhood. And have been since. There you go. So I've never thought I was anything special. Now, granted, I do understand people like my stuff, but it's really hard to word things. neurodivergency in a nutshell. It sounds like I'm being egotistical and bragging when I'm just being like, thank you, I'm glad I was a part of your life. Oh goodness, no. I just realized that was over the entire time. Did not like that. I think that could look good. Maybe. Maybe. I kind of like that, but I also kind of don't. Because then it also kind of blocks the view of the library. Oh no, I'm blowing up all of my lights and stuff. See, I have mixed feelings about Hogwarts and Harry Potter in general. First of all, it was never a really big part of my life. I really loved the first movie, but after that, I feel like it kind of lost its magic, no pun intended. After that, everything just like, oh, everything's magical and weird now? Cool. Where like the first movie, it really captured like the wonder of magic, I feel. And, you know, I do appreciate that a lot of people enjoy the series, but especially after J.K. Rowling came out as problematic, to say the very least, it's really hard for me to say anything excessively nice about the series. But I also do appreciate that you can say, like, a series is nice even though the artist is not. So it's kind of like one of those things. It's difficult, because, like, just because the person that made it is bad doesn't mean you stop enjoying what they did. It just means you should stop supporting them as a person, I feel. It's a weird thing. There's a lot of nuances to problematic people, unfortunately. Because it's like, a lot of people love Harry Potter, and they shouldn't hate it now, but at the same time, they should definitely not appreciate the writer anymore. Anyway, before I get too controversial, let's change the subject. Yeah, it's very interesting because I wouldn't. I'm a writer. That's really weird to say because, you know, I've never had professional training or have really done anything that it's like somebody that draws occasionally, not calling themselves an artist. They are an artist, just like I am a writer. It just feels weird to say that. You know what I mean? Because it feels like it cheapens other people in a way. But anyway, I enjoy writing, and I understand the basics of writing, even if I'm not particularly great at it. But with writing, one of the rules I've realized that I've actually learned I learned a lot from Reddit in general. Basically, as long you don't have to explain everything, and in fact, it's kind of better if you leave some mystery to it. But you've always gotta be willing to answer questions. You usually don't have to have too many answers, usually one or two deep. Like in Star Wars, it's like, oh, well, how do they make how do they travel faster than light? It's like, oh, well, they have these special dilithium crystals which allow that. And for the most part, people are like, oh, okay, yeah, that's cool. You explained it. That's why they can do it. Now, occasionally you get an additional question. It's like, well, what makes those crystals special that allows that? And then you could further explain it. Like, oh, I actually don't know the explanation behind dilithium crystals, or even if there is one. But usually there's not much more than 2 questions deep. So you don't need a lot. However, the 2 things you do need is consistency, and if that consistency is ever broken, like an exception is made, you have to be willing to explain why that exception was made, and not, like, hand-wave it, because you could do a lot of hand-waving with magic. It's like, oh, like, you can say, like, oh, how can they fly? Oh, well, it's magic. Oh, okay. Magic explains a lot. But at the same time, you have, like, a consistent rules, like, oh, typically you can't bring back, like, there's no true resurrection with, like, necromancy. It's like, okay, well, this guy did manage to pull it off. How? Well, it's like, well, you normally can't. He figured out a way by doing some really sketchy shit. All right, okay, cool. You know, stuff like that. You gotta at least explain one or two questions deep when you do something weird, especially something that breaks your consistency. Yeah, but at the same time, like, obviously a kid's book and magic doesn't need a lot of logic to it, but at a certain point, you have something called the suspension of disbelief, which you can just kind of, like, put aside logic to just kind of be in the moment. But when something happens that is so jarring, it takes you out of that moment, takes you out of that suspension of disbelief. That's when it needs to bring you back. You know what I mean? I've managed to enjoy a lot of, I would say, arguably questionable movies and media in general, just because I was able to put aside my logic and suspend my disbelief. But again, some things are so bad they take you out and you just never go back in. And I wouldn't say Harry Potter does that. Again, I haven't watched a lot of it or really been into it enough to know. But I do know that a lot of people dislike a few things that it does. Anyway, I'm just hopping around my base. I should probably do something. I'm just getting distracted so much with conversations with you guys. You're all very active. I love when you guys are active. Talking with you is one of my favorite parts about streaming. It does make it hard to focus on building, especially when you guys give me great topics to talk about. But yeah, the streams where no one is saying anything are the harder ones. Let's see. Need more light in general around here. There we go. It's a little bit. Yeah, and again, you know, not everybody's suspension has to be broken. Again, I don't really know the series well enough to make that kind of assessment. I just can understand where people are coming from. I'm very willing to say I don't know enough about a topic to really have an opinion. I can still have opinions on adjacent things, which is kind of like, you know, I have an opinion on writing, which is what I just shared, but I don't really know enough. Oh God, people at work have been talking about the whole Palestine thing, and I don't know enough about any of that to really have an opinion. So I'm just like, I don't know. I'm sure I could know. Like, I could look it up and be like, oh, you know, side A is clearly right or side B is clearly right, or maybe it's more complicated and there's no right or wrong, or they're all wrong. You know, there's a whole slew in between, and I'm sure there's very much an answer to that, but I personally don't know it, and I don't know enough, and I don't feel like my opinion is going to matter, so I just try to stay out of that. Like me saying, you know, like saying my opinion isn't going to change anything, really. So I just try not to have an opinion on things like that. Yeah. It's even kind of hard having opinions about topics I'm actually passionate about, because it's like, yeah, I really, really care about this subject. I'm not saying I'm not passionate about that, by the way, in case that was unclear. Like topics that like really get me going, things I'm knowledgeable about and care immensely about. It's really hard even having an opinion on those, because it's like, well, it's like talking about this is very nice. I enjoy it, but it's also like my opinion isn't going to change anything. Even if I change the opinion of everybody in the room, it's not going to really change the circumstance, unfortunately. Like one of my big topics, that looks gross, is workers' rights in general in America, and taking care of people, socialism. But even then, unfortunately, my opinion isn't going to change how things are done anytime soon. At no you, hell yes. What? Oh, no you. I don't remember those movies very much. And hello, Tanner. Welcome. I'm glad you came. Man, I'm seeing a lot of, well, returning faces. I don't think I've seen most of you in my streams before, and I am very happy to see such a big turnout. So, welcome, guys. I've already mentioned this twice already, but since we have new people coming, I am. Hold on, let me get. There we go. I'm engaged. I'm engaged. Super happy about that. I don't think the story bears repeating a third time. But yeah, I'm engaged. I'm getting married. I don't know when specifically, but we have time. We have lots of time. All right, so I want a lot of plants over here. I think we're gonna do more deco pots. How are we gonna do this? So not a lot of prime window space. Let's see, vines. You know, unfortunately, this is not a great spot to do this in. Oh, you know what? Actually, let's do something like this. Something like this, maybe. So obviously I need it flat right there to take advantage of... I almost kind of want to do a little thing right here too. Especially now that I don't have to worry about having a ladder coming up and down. That could be cute. Pots. Ooh, really need to do the pot texture redesign. Oops. That's funny that it just sits there. Ooh, that's an idea. I've done this before, not very often. Chain. Here we go. Something like that. Something like that. Ugh, I wish we weren't so limited in Minecraft. So let's see, slab, something like this maybe. Eek. Ugh. Ugh. Not perfect. Let's see. Thinking it doesn't need to be hanging. I think it would look cute. Wait. Oh, did I never download the fix for that? Could have sworn I did. It's not super important. Fixed chain. Download. I gotta fix this real quick, or I'm never going to. Chain. Open file location. Download. Copy. Paste. Done. Okay. Oops. There we go. All right, let's see. Oh no, that doesn't fix it. What? Huh. Danger. Danger, you lied to me. How dare you? All right, Rue, you have a good day. Nice talking to you. Glad you could make it. So I think right here, the chain doesn't add anything. However, could have... various little hanging pots. I don't want them too symmetrical. Oops. Kind of want them scattered. There we go. Wait a minute. I think that's the same position. That is the same position. All right. Right here then? There you go. Okay. Give me some plants. I think that's gonna look good there. You know what? Instead of torches, how do I want to do this? That's the wrong way regardless if I want to hang it. Shoot, how do I want to do this? Slab, perhaps? Ugh, that's just not going to work very well for me. Could do that. And just have like a lantern hanging right there. I don't feel like that looks very good though. What else could I do? I don't think this is going to look very good either. It really doesn't. I was thinking maybe I could just kind of make this into a big shelf and put like little decorative things right there. But the fact that it's weirdly shaped like that does not give me good vibes. What if I do it further down? Maybe it's just because it's in the window. Ooh, burp. I forgot I still... Nope, I did drink all my tea. Hello, Mad Loco. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Oh yeah, I wanted to talk more about Japan. I was getting distracted. What was it? So again, one of the nicest things about Japan was just the fact that everything cost reasonable prices, which is ridiculous to me. It looks a little bit weird, better, but still weird. What if I just make it all the same? Less weird. I guess the alternative, something like, nope, that's still gonna look weird. Less weird. I think that might look better on the outside. Even then, I think only one. Oops. I think only one over here would look not good. I guess alternatively, I could just have them like so. Two, and then two. Ooh, that's nice. I do like the torches, but the lanterns definitely popping. still want to push those armor stands over. Ugh, I have mixed feelings because I like showing off that lapis, but at the same time, it feels weird having them off-centered. Not that they need to be centered, it just... What if I also just put another armor stand on the other side? No, too much armor stand. What I could do... Piston. Can I say pink chess gringos? What? Well, first of all, sure, did I say it right? And second of all, why? Are you trying to test to see if I'm actually paying attention to chat or something? If I push it over again, is it just gonna be in the way? Oops. Oops. Another armor stand? Really? Yeah, being in the center does feel weird. I really wish we had weapon stands. Oh, so bad. Alright, let's see. First of all... Another one. DJ Khaled. Don't like that guy, by the way. It's just, whenever I say another one, I just think of him. Not in a good way, by the way. I hate that so much. Another one. I also think he's a crappy person in general, based off of his opinions and other things he said. It feels so weird, by the way. Like, most of my life, I've been essentially conditioned not to have an opinion, which is why I'm kind of a people pleaser and tend to be, like, easygoing. Isn't because I don't have an opinion or desires or wants. It's because I was always conditioned that they're bad. So it's really hard to have an opinion and voice it. So I've been trying to train myself to get away from that. So as uncomfortable as it makes me feel, I'm going to say I don't like DJ Khaled as a person. First of all, I really hate how in every single song he says another one and announces his name. Like, but then some of the stuff he said, ugh. Message retracted. Thanks, handsome. Yeah, you're welcome. I really hope you're not trying to train an AI on my voice model. That would be weird and a little creepy. But honestly, wouldn't surprise me. Not that you specifically would do it, that somebody else would. Not necessarily me specifically, but you get the idea. It'd be something people do. Alright, got some various plants. Da-na-da. Okay, got like all the trees except for the mangrove one because we don't have really a texture for that yet. Get my favorite flowers, or at least the ones that look good in pots. Try to get a variety of color. I hate that torch flower looks so different from the other ones, but at the same time, looking different, especially because of, you know, the situation of the flower, isn't a bad thing. Like, it's from another biome. It's kind of like the mushrooms looking so dramatically different. It's just, I wouldn't say jarring. What's the word? I still cannot think of the word. So I want, ugh. I don't know what I want. I need bushier plants to really connect to the chains. Oops. Because otherwise, you can tell there's a gap there. Swats. Oops. No, these are all too short. What else do I got? Oh, maybe one of these guys. Ah, perfect. In fact, I like that so much, I'm gonna put one over here too. I need like a list of all the things that go in pots. So over here, it can be a little bit more wide-ranging. Those are more decorative plants, so it's more the oh, I can't think of the word. Oh, why can't I think of the word? Oh, it doesn't matter. What was the other plant? Oh, cactus, bamboo. That's what I wanted. I don't know if bamboo has any medicinal properties. Oops. Cat. All capitals. Cat. Oh god. Megalomania? Oh, megalovania. That's what I meant to say. I don't know if this is going to be an issue. Let's put a string there. You know what? Gift icon barrier. Yeah, I don't care if that's necessarily what's the word? Unobtainable in single player. This is all just a redo. Besides, it's literally the same function as string, it just doesn't show up. There we go. So for this practicality, oops. Actually, can you walk through barrier? Oh, no. Okay. I guess I am gonna have to use string. Little sad, but it works. All right. Thank you. Are you a longtime viewer, Mad? Do I have to worry about it jumping over? I don't remember how aggressive vines are. Bam, bam. What? Why aren't you going down on the glass? Oh, because it needs... Okay. Oh, well, that's fine. Uh-oh. I need to use the bathroom. I'll be right back. Okay, I've returned. They move laterally. Ugh, that's annoying. I really wish you could trim them like the glowberries. I feel like this window needs to be taller. What do I do? So if I make the window taller, I'm gonna have to get rid of this, I think. I guess alternatively what I could do is do something like this. I'd make the window shorter, and I can make it taller. Ophelia the Cleric? What is that even from? I do kind of dig that. Yeah, I think, regardless, I think I dig the pillar right there. It just adds a little bit more rigidity? Not rigidity. Oops. I wanted a slab, thank you. Structure, for lack of a better word. Well, the problem is plants are still a little low for my tastes. But let's see what I can make work. I went live 5 minutes. Yeah, like all of the wow, I can't even word. First of all blocks need to be able to be lava logged, or at least the non-flammable ones. God, there's just so many things they need to do. Hey. Oh, God. Don't I feel the same way? Nice to see you, Escaflu. I think that's how you say your name. Feel free to correct me. But yeah, I'm glad. I actually just started reworking on the original house again today. So good timing dropping by. I was working on my adventuring guild. But yeah, thank you for stopping by. I think you're also a new face. Or at least a newer face. By the way, guys, perfect. By the way, guys, if you are still listening and participating, please tell me either in the chat or in Discord, especially if you're a first-time viewer of the live stream, how you found out about my live stream, because I have been posting on my old YouTube channel, my new YouTube channel, Discord, and Twitter. And knowing where you're getting your notifications from will help me immensely get my notifications out to other people. Especially if you've got a notification from my old channel and you haven't seen my new one at all yet. Super helpful. Okay, so it was on your actual YouTube feed. That's good. That means YouTube is actually promoting my stuff, kinda. So I think there's something interesting we could do here, theoretically. So here's what we're gonna do. Same? Okay. So my new channel, Tycoon 1321, technically, And you got that from... Okay. Okay, cool. That's great news. Because, again, I'm seeing a lot of new faces today, which is great. But it also helps me know where to focus my efforts. Because I feel like a lot of people from my old channel still don't know that I have a new channel. And I'm not sure if my videos through that old channel are... Oh no, that's annoying. Are actually doing anything for me. Okay, can't do that. I don't think that looks good. That's not what I'm going for. I guess having a thing of compost doesn't hurt. I just thought it would be cool to use this kind of like as a flower pot. Like, granted, I don't want to do this because we have better options. Oh, especially because of that. Lift. I was thinking like something like that, so it actually looks like a pot. But that's fine. Deco pot. Oh, that looks great right there. I guess I could probably do the same right there. But anyway, oak, trapdoor. Beautiful. I almost want something hanging over that too, but I'm not even sure what. Just have a lantern for now. I love this shader pack, but it does make all the dark spots more darker. A little hard to deal with. At first they were getting messages from my old channel. I got distracted when you said that, so I don't... There's also lag, so I don't know what that's referring to specifically. I'm gonna probably change the wall, but it's bothering me that's not uniform right now. Okay, so I want to make this more greenhousey. So here's what I'm gonna do for now. I'm just gonna lay some stuff out and see what looks good. I'm thinking 2x2 path around, kind of like an island in the middle. Wait, Final Fantasy? Tifa's theme. Okay. I was even thinking 7, although would not have surprised me if it was also 8. Okay, this is actually looking pretty good. Could even do it where it's kind of like this, not a full island. You could put a deco pot here, maybe even here, but that feels like a lot. So deco pot right there. You can kind of come in and then go around the little island here. And then the alchemy area would be right here. I don't want to take up too much room. So we'll see how this looks in a second. This is already starting to come together though. I like it. Again, I kind of want to put carpet, but it feels weird to put carpet in a very mildewy area, it feels. Interesting. Okay, I think I need to start posting more on my old channel, just like once a week. Be like, hey guys, new channel if you haven't seen it yet. Unsubscribe from this old one if you don't want to keep getting these notifications. And then remind people to do the whole, oh, don't forget to like, subscribe, ring the dingly bell, comment, praise my name in a magic ritual, and carve my name onto your chest. Whatever the YouTubers are saying now, I have to really get in with it because, you know, got to promote my content somehow, and blood sacrifices are the way to go. I've heard, so we'll see what happens. I kind of want to have more hanging pots, but I feel like it becomes too cluttered at that point. I also kind of hate how it's staggered like this, like it clearly... Yeah, maybe we'll just have one open and we'll see what happens. We'll put smaller flowers there. Ooh, sunflower. I forgot about those. I wish these went in pots. At least the bigger ones. I feel like... Because you can't put small flowers into big pots, or in small pots, which makes a lot of sense. I feel like deco pots should be able to plant bigger things in them. And also, the model should also be bigger. Like, kind of like my saplings, where it has the small and the big size. Yeah, I think that'd be cool, because a bigger plant. I like that. I like that a lot. I just need to make a mod pack at this point, or at least a data pack. Maybe that's something I'll work on, we'll see. Excuse me. Sorry, guys. That was probably a little too ASMR for your tastes. Okay, so let's see. Small flower. Oops. Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, give me that fairy music. All right. Again, I don't want to fill every single spot. You gotta have some empty spots, but we're gonna fill all of these up for now. Let's see what we've got. I also want to do is have maybe light here, and kind of use that my advantage of having like these to stop it from growing too far in one direction. Actually, I was gonna say growing on the other side would look way better, but I don't think I can with how I have that set up. Now, alternatively, I could just have a full... Oh. I couldn't have a full-size ceiling. I could, like, right here. I'm not sure how that would look. It would look kind of weird, I imagine. I mean, besides literally these two speaker things, that's fine. Although I would still have to do... I guess I could do this. That doesn't look too weird. I mean, it does look weird, but it doesn't look too weird, you know what I mean? Ugh. So difficult. Because again, I think having the vines on this side would look really, really sick. How could I do that? Also, did I like disable my tick speed? Because I don't see anything growing. I know I want to do this because that. Oh well, good enough. Again, we'll settle for good enough and make it look better later. I need some half slabs, please. Nope, that's stairs. Slabs. There we go. This sounds vaguely familiar. Hold on. Can I guess what this song is? Oh! Hold on. Oh, I know this song. Sonic! Green Hills? Green Hill Zone. Oh, got it. I know, it's not really an achievement, but at the same time, kinda. So you can also have vines hanging from here, I think. We shall see what is up. Ticks, game rule. Hold on, I know there's something about tick speed. Random tick speed, there we go. Okay, so they're not growing down like I wanted. Although kind of having it at the top does look kind of nice. That's a nice little curtain. I don't want them, well... How do I want to do this? I could just have them growing over an area I don't particularly care about. Like maybe right here. Kind of like a little curtain. Alternatively... oops. I should probably set that back to 3. Although those aren't growing for some reason. That's weird. Something like that looks pretty cute. Oh no. That's annoying. How do I do this? I guess I could do this basically. This is so frustrating. I don't want to have to deal with this. Also, is that going to break the string? Okay, no. That's good at least. Oops. If I did that, and then... something like this, maybe. No, wait, that's too high. Because I also have to account for that. Okay, grow again. Let's see what happens. Do I need more? Do I need less? Is it like too fast that it's like kind of glitching out? Okay. See, it looks really good from this side, but from this side, it looks weird that it's only like a piece hanging down. It looks splotchy. Like it needs to go down more. Just no winning. What if I got rid of all of that? Oh yeah, I wanted to tell you guys more about Japan too. Oh, let's see. Takes speed slow. I thought random tick speed 3 was the normal speed. What song is this? Undertale? I'm not vibing with this song. Song of Healing, that's nice. Okay, how does this look from this side? That looks nice. Don't like that hanging there. Take one, oops. Take one of these. Put that in there. And now what do I want growing in there? I think something bigger. That actually makes me think. Hold up. So I did this trick earlier in this series. Interesting. Interesting. First of all, two things. Okay, that actually looks really good for like a tree, I'd imagine. Okay, it does not look good. Well, that's because they don't have a better fence. However, now this looks a little weird. But big mushroom. It doesn't look good. It looks huge and too phallic for my tastes. Well, now if you ever want to troll your friends, you can give them a very tasteful decoration that looks incredibly phallic. They will never know until they do. Then it'll be kind of funny. Whew. Spooked me.
Sorry.
That's okay. I just didn't see you coming. How did you take your seat? Oh. That's why we need a decoy chair. Cat stole a partner's seat. By the way, guys, my fiance. They're camera shy, so they probably will not be appearing on camera. I love this song, but I'm kind of done with Stardew right now. Ooh, I wonder if there's a Coral Island playlist. Not that the music there slaps super hard, but I've started trying to play that again now that they've officially released it. Although, even though it's officially released, like fully released, it still looks like it's missing a lot of content. According to like the dev, like the release log, I forget what it's called, the development path. I don't remember what it is called. Where it shows like all the features they plan on releasing. Or it's unlike Stardew. Stardew was released as a fully finished game, enjoyable from the start. And then he just added more content because he wanted to. I have not finished Coral Island in its finished state yet, so I can't say too much because I just don't know. But it seems to be the case. That being said, the game still slaps. It's still a good game. I just wouldn't recommend playing it until it's fully finished. At least that was my opinion back in its beta, or its early access, I should say. I do like all the characters have way more character to them, and there's a lot more inclusion. Although I wish there was slightly more inclusion. They actually do have, I believe, technically they have two non-binary characters, but only one of them is romanceable, which is sad. And then also, I kind of wish there was a trans character. Like, obviously, it shouldn't be super obvious until, like, you really start to get to know them. But it would just be, super chill. Although it is typically very unfortunate in the trans community that you have to be very upfront that you're trans when you start dating somebody, because that is, a deal breaker for most, which I kind of get. Like, hey, I like you, but... what's the word? Like, I think you're... I really don't know how to word it. Like, I get how that might be a deal breaker for some people, but some people, the real issue, get angry about it. Like, how dare you make me attracted to you? It's like, dude, you're doing it yourself, man. I'm just trying to let you know ahead of time. That being said, regardless of any relationship, any potential deal breaker should be... I wouldn't say a first date thing, no. Like, early on, before you get into a committed relationship, all the deal breakers should be on the table. been waiting on that one. Oh, Coral Island? Yeah, that's a phenomenal game. I really enjoy it. Playing through it a second time, though, it's not that it doesn't have replayability. I think it just suffers from the same thing that all of those games suffer from, in that the early game is boring. Although it was really nice, they gave me the option of a new game plus, because you couldn't import your old save file, which basically just copies only your money, and then you start a new game. I do like that concept, but oh my god, early game kind of sucks. Basically, if you could just like, if you had the option to like skip your first or even second season, that would be great. I'm sure there's going to be a mod for that, but I feel like a lot of those games would benefit from having a essentially a new game plus mode, where you could skip some of the early game or have some easier aspects. Like maybe you start off with all copper tools, or maybe certain things are unlocked, or maybe, you know, like you just start off with not necessarily like a handicap, like a head start. You know what I mean? I think that would be really nice. But that's what I'm suffering from right now, is that the early game is kind of rough. The first time I played through it was great, but like, again, it's a lot of work before you get to a spot where you're just like, yeah, I've made it. Oops, did not mean to do that. I haven't even decided. I don't think I actually do want to keep that there. So we can get rid of this anyway. I kind of wanted to make string in my texture pack translucent anyway, because like I've never decorated with string before. Besides, it makes those traps way more deadly. And then decoration better. Armored core. Yeah, I have not gotten that yet, although I want to. And Baldur's Gate 3 I have not finished yet, although I have made a build that I've been dying to make a video of, but I just haven't had the time or the energy. But I came up with a cool name for it, something like the Radiant Guardian build, which is such a sick name, first of all. Not to toot my own horn, I'm just like, objectively, that's a cool name. Because it focuses around essentially literally being a tank, therefore the Guardian. It also relies on Spirit Guardians, hence another reference to Guardians, and also Radiant Orb, the debuff, so Radiant Guardians. So it's really cool. I really want a water feature in here. But it's really hard to justify just having like water in the wall. Maybe you can make it like a little basin or something. Like a little sink or something. I do like that idea. Put it like maybe right here, and we'll see what's up. Oh, all of the redstone and such from my automation attempt. Well, I shouldn't say attempt. I automated it. It just wasn't perfect, or didn't last rather. Bop, bop. This is the thing I realized with Minecraft is not everything needs to be like fully automated to look good. Basically have an acoustic version. You can have an automated version if you want to, but that could just be like in the wall or the ground somewhere, its own thing. For decorative purposes, I want something functional but also looks good, you know? Oh, but for my build, so there's a couple of ways to build it, which is why this could probably be even 2 videos worth, but effectively the most simple build is 5 levels of Cleric, 2 levels of Monk. And the reason for that is for key points, specifically, what was it? The dodge ability. I forget what it's called. Excuse me. It's one of the only class features that allows you to dodge as an action, even as a bonus action, honestly. And essentially what that will do is make you even more unhittable. But then also, Step of the Wind, which allows you to double your movement and jump as many times as you want for free. That's the main thing you're going to need. You can do this build without that, but it makes it a lot more... What's the word? A lot easier to do. Because theoretically, if you just took 2 levels in Rogue, you could just get a second bonus action and use that to jump. Eventually, you could also just cast Fly on yourself, or with the unlocked powers, you could just fly for free. So you don't really need the jump portion of the build. However, I like it, especially because it doubles your movement. With flying, I don't think there's a way to increase your fly movement. Although I guess you could just dash again, but regardless, get the idea. The build also comes fully online by level 7, as early as, like, basically the beginning of Act 2. When you get to your first town in Act 2, or outpost, I guess. Whatever it is, the first place with a vendor. It's not fully complete that early, but it's mechanically viable by then. It's just not best in slot until... I guess, to be fair, the start of Act 3 is fully best in slot, but only because of one item. Even then, you're best in slot by, like, mid-Act 2. Either way, essentially what the entire build does, it allows you to go jump across the entire map, hit every single enemy with Spirit Guardians, and debuff them to hell and back. In one turn, you can get 8 stacks of Radiant Orb, which the debuff only stacks to 7, but the duration can go on indefinitely. For each stack, you get a -1 up to 7. I think that's the same with all debuffs for the most part. So all the enemies get a -1 to hit, not only you, but everyone. And they're glowing. What was it? Then you also give them... You also get a +1, like every enemy, or I guess every time you apply radiant damage, you would also get a +1 to your saves, again up to 7. So theoretically, you could get up to 7 in the first turn. If you also want to cheese it, you could also jump around multiple times, even before combat, and hit items, and that will trigger the buff. That's super cheese, though. I don't recommend it. So, especially if you upcast your Spirit Guardians, chances of them failing their save, because the DC is so incredibly high, is high. So they take your full radiant damage. It's ridiculous. I'm just going to start planting flowers and see where we go from there. Ooh, I forgot I was building a cistern. Something like right here. See how this looks. What's up with this weird tweeting thing? Lost Girls? Don't know what that is. Don't know what grandma is. What is the thumbnail of this? Oops. Oh, this is a Zelda. Okay. So anyway, the build. So -7 to all enemies to hit at all. I don't believe that includes spell save DC. So if it's a spell attack, they'll still get a -7, but if it's a spell save, I think you'll still be... You won't be as protected. Additionally, though, you can also apply Reverberation, which gives up to a -4 to all physical saves before it resets. The triggering of Reverberation is terrible, and I honestly wish there was the ability to not toggle that. Or toggle that off, because essentially it triggers, it does a pitiful amount of damage, and can knock the enemy prone. That's it. It's lame. However, that -4 plus to physical saves is amazing, especially if you're like shoving people around. However, you can also combine that with a ring that says whenever enemies with Reverberation takes thunder damage, they can also be knocked... They can also be dazed. and I think something else. So you can daze them and knock them prone. But I don't like dazing them or knocking them prone because with this build, taking attacks of opportunity is actually a good thing because they're gonna miss. Theoretically, you could change this build around a little bit and maybe put on an adamantine shield, and then they would get an additional negative to hit on melee attacks only every time they miss you. So it can get insane for melee attackers anyway. Not that there are a ton that's going to be a huge issue, but it can potentially be very... I guess you could switch your gear depending on the fight, which is also a really cool thing with this build. Additionally, if you were able to consistently do psychic damage, which there is a way, it just depends on your gameplay style. You could also be doing, it's not feeble mind, it's mental fatigue. Play some Morrowind right now. I want to hear why you think I should play Morrowind right now. So I haven't played... Heck, I haven't even played more than like an hour or two of Oblivion. Older games are a little harder for me to get into. But anyway, so you could do mental fatigue, which also gives them an additional up to 7... -7 to their mental save. So like wisdom, charisma, and intelligence, which again is a nasty... especially because the other one only buffs you, the other one would debuff the enemy. Therefore, your other enemy or your other ally spellcasters can devastate the battlefield, especially with like save or suck spells. Not that I think Baldur's Gate 3 has many save or suck spells. Save or suck means you save or you basically are crippled immensely, like disintegrating ray. Not that that is in Baldur's Gate, but like in old school D&D, if you didn't save against that, you were just dead immediately. Do not pass go, do not collect $200, you were dead. But any hoozle, oops. I'm losing my train of thought. Bang. Bang. That's good enough for those. So let's see. The way you could apply psychic damage is there is a unlockable power that basically says whenever for like 2 or 3 turns. It's not a lot, but you don't need a lot. For a few turns, I think it's a short rest too. Whenever an enemy misses you, they take psychic damage. And essentially you could just do that because you debuff them with the Radiant Orb, and then you move away or jump away, and they trigger the attack of opportunity, and therefore they take psychic damage, which is additional damage, and they trigger the debuff, which is, again, insane. So if you did that like every turn, it's a lot. Also, during their turn, they're gonna miss you. So again, that just keeps stacking. It's not as broken as the other ones, but it's helpful, really nice. Again, something you can change depending on your party composition or the boss fight or encounter in general. What else was there? I had a whole list of all the things you could do. I think that was the gist of it. So predominantly Radiant Orb and Arcane Acuity to give you higher save DCs and debuff the heck out of the enemy. The other thing is too, because so there's no such thing as really tanking in a lot of RPGs because there's no taunt mechanic. You can't force an enemy to attack you. Some games do have a mechanic like that, like, hey, you can attack someone else, but at a hefty penalty. And even then, it doesn't apply to a lot of enemies, usually just the one you're fighting. 4th edition had something like that. So it's not perfect, but you can do something like that. Now, this build actually does do that because it's not forcing the enemy to attack you. However, it is tanking indirectly in the fact that it is making it harder for your enemies to hit your allies. Therefore, full tank, in my personal opinion. So again, like, one of the few truly tanking builds you can actually do. Where again, as opposed, you would not... actually, hold on. Oh, I did it again. Either way, I don't think you can put one on top. Nope. Oh well. Ooh, okay, so Disintegrate is in there. So theoretically, you could do some really nasty things. Of course, Baldur's Gate is pretty broken, so you could do a lot of nasty things without having to do anything too fancy, you know what I mean? It's kind of built into the game at that point. So yeah, true tank build. Plus, again, you don't have the highest AC, but you're a pretty tanky character, and you're predominantly cleric. Like, again, as long as you were willing to either use your party to support you, or use some unlockable abilities, and I keep saying that because I don't want to spoil anything for people, but the unlockable abilities would allow you to get around some of the limitations, and you could honestly go straight cleric and still be formidable, even if you're not like full cheese mode. And again, even then, I don't feel like this build is too cheesy. So what am I going for? It's a good build, and you could go full cleric. It's pretty amazing. Alternatively, the other really cool thing is, because the build relies entirely on having access to spirit guardians, cleric seems like the only option, except it's not. You could take bard. Now, if you want to do it earlier, you would have to be a lore bard. However, if you're willing to wait until, I think, level 10, you could do either other bard, because bards eventually get magical secrets no matter what. Lore bard just gets A, earlier, and B, twice as many. So you could be a lore bard with, like, you could respec into lore bard, or out of lore bard, or whatever other class you are, into either of the other bards, Valor or Blades, I think it is. And the other one gives you maneuvers, which is sick. Allows you to be a little bit more combat. Allows you to do a little bit more in combat, but it also allows you to do the maneuver where you spend a Bardic Inspiration and get +4 AC for until the end, I think until your next turn, which is insane. So again, if you never want to get hit, you could totally do that. Not that, also Bard is really cool because it's a charisma and skill-based character. I think it's a skill-based character. I think you get more skills with them, yeah. So it is arguably the most fun main character class to play, and you're doing all this cool stuff with it. So you can do some insane things. How do I want to do this? I definitely want some water here. Thinking like a little stone basin. And again, like, I'm not trying to toot my own horn. I'm just objectively, I really enjoy the build that I came up with, and it does some cool stuff. Okay, so that's neat. Now, how do I want this water coming here? I could just have it like that. Could also have it like pouring out of the ceiling or something. I'll think on that. However, I was also thinking it would be really nice to kind of do like I did over there and kind of have like a little drip feed system. I'm not quite sure how I would want to do that. Oh god, I did not consider that wizards could also do that, which just makes this build a little bit more broken. I should also say, the only downside to this build, one of the main things you need is luminous armor. So luminous armor is a medium armor, so you do need to get access to that. Now there are a few ways to do this. Lore Bard only gets light armor, so you'll have to take a feat or multi-class to get medium armor. And I don't believe you can cast spells if you don't have the proficiency in that armor, so it kind of sucks in that way. But the other thing you can do, of course, Cleric doesn't have to worry about that. And then the other two bards do get medium armor and shields. At least one of them gets shields. Now, the only other way to get around this is if you play Githyanki, because they do get medium armor. I think Shield Dwarf does as well. Githyanki gets a whole bunch of stuff. It is like literally the most, I would say the most OP race, in my opinion. They just get so much. But if you don't want to play a Githyanki or a Shield Dwarf, which ironically, I think Shield Dwarf only gets medium armor, not shield proficiency. But yeah, you could do that. Not a biggie. So if you were to play a Lore Bard, or I guess in this case a Wizard, you would either have to waste feats, or I can't think of the word. Or play a race that you wouldn't normally want to play. Unless you like those races. Whatever, more power to you. The interesting thing about this particular build as well is your feet are pretty open. You don't need anything. And in fact, after level 5, 6, or 7, depending on what class combination you're playing, as long as you get Spirit Guardians and have a way to maneuver across the battlefield, you don't need to worry. Like, your class is fully online. Anything you put your next levels into doesn't matter at all. Everything from then on just supports what you're doing and is irrelevant to your build. Same with feats. Like, sure, you can have feats that complement what you're doing. One thing you could even do is if you respec and put Sorcerer as your first level, you would get con save bonus as well as some other nice things. Like, you get fly for free every time you cast a spell. You also get something else. First level Sorcerer is pretty good for only a 1 level dip. Alternatively, you could just have a Transmutation Wizard and your camp give you that stone, or you could just spin the feat to get Resilience, Constitution. No problem. You can also get Warcaster, which again helps every caster, but for the most part, you're not going to be taking a lot of damage, so failing your concentration save isn't going to be a huge issue. However, it can happen, so if you just want to make sure that never happens, feel free to min-max. Otherwise, you can take whatever feat you want to do whatever else you want. Yeah, they give them medium armor. What weird song is this? Also appears to be a Zelda song because it has the parrot thing on it. I don't remember the name of those. Whew. This is starting to come along nicely. There was just a blank spot here. Granted, taking more time than I would have appreciated, but still nice. You know, I haven't done too much like steampunky stuff in this build, so I think I'm gonna keep it fairly acoustic. I'm not gonna worry about like feeder pipes. Although theoretically you wouldn't really need steampunk to do that. You just have like a suspended water system and then pipes that come and drip Pipes aren't really like a hardcore technology. Had them around for ages. How are we gonna do this? I want more decorative things. Oh, I do want more mushrooms. I don't think I could really do a pitcher pod anywhere without having like a dedicated little thing for it. Ooh, I could have like bee stuff over here. That might make sense. Huh, that's an interesting idea. I'm just gonna put like a generic beehive over here for now. So I don't see the boxed version. Ooh, that's an interesting idea. So we're gonna have like a little water area that not only waters the other plants, but also has room for these guys. I think these can only grow on, oops, soil. Oh, can't do that. Shoot. Okay, so I guess lily pads? That kind of looks weird because they totally look like they're hovering when they're at ground level. Oh my goodness, I hate it. Wow, that's pretty terrible. I need to change the model. I thought I did change the model of the lily pads to have like roots at the bottom. Either way, I need to change it so even though the model, like the actual block is higher up, I need to lower them so they're flush with water. I kind of want to try that real quick. Give me 1 second, guys. We're looking for Java block. Wait, can't I load an item? Do I have that? Let's see CM. Okay, well, you know what? I think it's just lily_pad. I'm gonna swap you guys over real quick. Window capture. We're gonna capture block bench. And we're gonna move that up. There we go. This shouldn't take long at all. It should be as simple as adding a cube. And then, oops. Stretch it out, flatten it. Oops. All the way flat. Oops. Ooh, it's been a while since I got used to these controls. What? How do I? Oh, okay. I just can't be touching that. Okay, flatten you all the way. And then, since this seems to hover over the water, how much over the water does it look like it's... Let's see. According to this, in-game, I'm looking at this. Looks like the water level is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5? Seems weird. Hold on, let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, maybe 6. So let's just try it 3 down. Let's try 2 and then we can lower it more. And then what we're going to do is we're going to add another block. So I know I did this before, but we're just going to go ahead and do it again. Bang. Oops. What song is this? I know it. Oh, Deku Palace. I just went over this one. All right. So now what we're gonna do? Actually, I realized VSR. There we go. 45. I wish there was a way to just automatically center these. Okay. Okay. There we go. Nice and centered. Probably doesn't need to be that big, but we can mess around with that later. And then what we're going to do is just make that a full 16. That way we can make the roots as big or as small as we want. But for now, we're just going to leave it empty. We're going to copy that. Oh, no. Not the texture. What is it? Duplicate. Okay. And then we're just going to flip this on its z-axis. There we go. Perfect. And then we're going to need a texture right there, which is going to be... I don't think you guys can see me looking for a file. Just realize the screen is not big enough. Good enough. Okay. Minecraft textures block. What's it gonna be? Lily pad. Lily pad. I am not sure how to account for biome. So this might not look good. Apply texture to face. And then I think I have roots. We'll just use hanging roots for now. Ooh, way too big. North, south. And then the other one. Oh, it's on both. Okay, good, good, good. So I don't want these that big. Also, I don't know if that's gonna matter too much. How do you do that? Mirror? Oh, no, that's not what I want. Oh, there we go. I got it. Cool. And then these guys, probably not. Oh, wait, hold up. Texture's too big. I thought I had other root textures, but you know what? We can just worry about that later. Those should not show up. So what we're gonna do is export. Did I spell this right? Lily pad. Okay. Export to Minecraft block states. Let's see if this works. These are the roots from the rooted dirt. Did I do this properly? This does not look like I did. Oh, that's because I'm under the wrong resource pack. Okay. Instances, Quiltifine, texture packs. Wait, what? No, resource packs. That's weird. I did already have a block state of lily pads. What's going on here? Yeah, that didn't change anything. What? Is it... I don't know what's going on, but it's not working in-game. Export lily pad. Is it under models? Oh, I think it's under models. Might have messed up the block state. I don't know what's gonna happen. Also, still didn't work. What the heck? Maybe it's because we have it set to randomize them, and the one it's randomizing just isn't that one. All right, we're gonna do some quick testing. Let's rip you guys back. Okay. Okay, all of these are hovering. Let's put a lot of these down and see if that changes at all. Oh, I shouldn't have done this in this pond. Yeah, none of these look like they're affected at all. Huh. I'm sure it's one setting conflicting with another. Oh well, we'll worry about that another time. Although, now that I think about it, I kind of would like to have 3D lily pads. I'm not sure how, because they're really flat. They don't really add anything. I think it'd be really nice to have like these big ones that kind of have the ridges up. I don't know. I think it would also be cool if you put like multiple of them together and just make bigger and bigger ones, kind of like connected texture. I'm not sure. I'm sure that's possible. That'd be really nice. Oh well, we'll worry about that another time. I don't want to waste too much time with this. I wonder if I move over further, like if I put the pot or the water further over, if the ceiling will still be an issue. I think so. So yeah, the water's dripping right there. Wait, was it supposed to be like that? Okay. That also causes another problem. I guess I could put it right here, and that would drip right there. Or, actually, it would. Huh. Huh. That's annoying. Gosh dang it, Minecraft. Oh. Did I... Where are the strings? Did I get rid of all the strings by mistake? I'm just going to let that side touch the floor, and these two kind of hang at that level. Alright. It's a good thing it's almost time to wrap up. I'm running out of steam. Still, not a bad little start. I always mispronounce cauldron. I don't know what's going on. Brewing stands. Let's see, what else makes a good alchemy area? Candles? Actually, yeah, for like Bunsen burners and stuff, maybe. Redstone blocks, perhaps? Maybe a furnace for something. A lectern for your recipes. Composter, maybe. Spooky redstone torches. Maybe even get some of the soulstone ones too. Perhaps barrels. We can get some barrels in here. It's kind of throwing down a template of blocks we're going to be using. Excuse me. I almost want to say a lightning rod. It's like a single one dripping something. Somehow. I was like, how is wool a redstone block? And only white wool. Alright guys, give me red wool. I need that for my redstone contraption. What are you doing? This is blue! Blue's not gonna work. Doesn't have that current carrying capacity. I mean, I get it. It interacts with the sulk sensors, but it's just weird that it's only the white wool. It'd be even weirder if it was like a specific color wool of a different variety. Like, nah guys, only blue wool. Redstone block. Well, I guess in this case red would be funny. Let's see. Campfire? Yeah, that'll make some sense. Ooh, end rods, perhaps. For something. Campfire, of course. An anvil. Guys, let me hammer out some potions real quick. Dunk, 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 dunk. You mean the note blocks for decoration or note blocks for the wool? I guess we can put, oops. Oh my god, that smells terrible. Hey, No Name. Glad you could make it. Although I am about to wrap up, unfortunately. So I could sit here for days hanging out with you guys. But I'm glad you could stop by. It's nice to see you. Which reminds me, after this stream, I'm probably going to post on the Discord asking you guys what are good times. Or better times for everyone to attend. I kind of want to do a respawn anchor too. I'm not sure if that's going to be too much. We'll find out. Stonecutter. Chest maybe. Bed, not very alchemy if you ask me. If you alchemy? Ask me? It's almost there. Almost funny. I get it. It just seems weird, you know? I know I'm looking for something. I cannot remember what it is, but I know it's there. Ah, that's what I was looking for. Amethyst. Because nothing says witch like crystals. I still need to do something about them. They look... I think it might just be... Because, like, the texture in the items doesn't look bad. But when you put it down, it looks like really... Oh, I can't remember the way to say it. Like, fried? Like, the saturation's, like, really dark. It's weird. I don't know what's going on. But it looks weird. I need to try to fix it. I'm sure it's just a shader thing. Huh. Can you just grow a pitcher plant anywhere? No, I think it has to be specifically somewhere else. Some glowberries. There we go. Alright, I feel like this is enough to get started. We're obviously going to need more area to work with too. I'm thinking like kind of making this a U shape. So like, I mean, we'll move this of course. Thinking something like this. That feels nice because you kind of come in here, it's nice and contained, it's like a kitchen. Then you have all this area to work with too. I like that. I might push this side back a little bit. Or maybe even do something like this. And then just like have a little gate or a door or something. Interesting. I do kind of like it blocked off like this though. So it also gives more room for like pots. And like all the most relevant plants would be nearby and then all the other ones would be over here. I kind of like that. It's weird. Like it doesn't make sense in terms of a floor plan, but it does kind of tie the rooms together really well. You know? Still really open and yet closed off. Just like my emotions, LOL. No, I'm just kidding. I'm actually a lot more open with my emotions than I've ever been. But it was still a really funny joke, I think. Well, I use really funny very subjectively, I should say. Alright, this is actually looking really good. It's still kind of rough, but it definitely... It's like a blank sheet of paper. The more you fill it out, the easier it is to determine where things should go. And I feel like this gives a really good baseline. This already fills up all this empty space and it looks really good already, even though it's not even done. All these pots and flowers on the inside look really good too. I think it definitely adds to the window as well. And the only downside is I would like to add more like hanging plants right here, but I don't know if that's going to be possible. I could always have like something hanging, like a little shelf or something hanging right there that Change could hang off of, but I don't know. We will determine that another time. All right, guys, it is 3:01. I need to start wrapping up. I hope you all had a lot of fun. I hope you're all excited because I do plan on having a video talking more about Japan and showing off some pictures. What else? I think I want to start working on this more often. The revamp or the remodel of my old base. So I think that's something also to look forward to. I think it would also be really cool to do like a before and after. I think instead of doing it all at once, I think I'm going to do piecemeals, like before and after on the lake, before and after on the front yard, before and after in the living room. Like you know, do it in sections, and then maybe one finale where it's like all of them stitched together. I think that would look really cool. Whenever I have free time, because God knows I don't have a lot of free time these days. 10-hour shifts. With Christmas coming up, things may be a little slower. I hope. We'll find out. We'll see what happens, especially if I get more time off. But yeah, I look forward to seeing you guys next week, and I should be streaming next Sunday as well. Yeah, I don't see anything coming up in the foreseeable future. The 24th might be kind of weird because that's Christmas for a lot of people. I don't really celebrate. I like Christmas, but I don't really do anything on Christmas. You know what I mean? So we'll probably skip the 24th just so people aren't missing out on anything. I'll probably use that time to do something like maybe record something else or just chill that day. Who knows? Either way, next Sunday should be good. 31st also might be weird since it's New Year's. So I think we'll skip both of those. We'll see what happens. I'll do a poll, see if anybody wants to actually come by on those days. So I know not everybody celebrates Christmas or even on Christmas because, you know, same with all the holidays. You don't need to do it on that day. Which I really feel like a lot of holidays should be staggered to avoid stuff like that. But anyway, neither here nor there. I could go off on a tangent forever on that as well. So yeah, I hope you guys had a great Sunday with me. It was so nice seeing all these new faces. It was nice talking to all of you. It was a lot of fun, especially at first when everybody was just swarming me with comments. It was absolutely phenomenal. I love when you guys interact. It's great. And then it mellowed out, so I got to focus a little bit more on building. Hope you guys enjoyed seeing all of the the old parts. Oh god, that looks really weird now that I look at it. I hope you enjoyed seeing all of the old parts of my base and all the things I've done, as well as all the potential that can be done. Yeah, I look forward to seeing you guys next Sunday. Same time, same channel. Also pop by the Discord, as well as I think I'm probably going to make it a community post, see what times work best for people. So yeah, this is going to be the end of the